This is a quiet little community and not much happens here, so this is a big event for Lake Monticello.
A fire rips through a dock at Lake Monticello, destroying several boats just before the start of boating season.
Plus, a jury finds a Georgia man guilty for his involvement in the brutal beating of a man in the Market Street parking garage last summer. It's coming up on 5 o'clock, and your news at Sunrise continues right now.
Live in high definition from the area's most experienced news team. This is NBC 29 HD News at Sunrise.
Good morning, I'm Jennifer Von Reuter.
And I'm Matt Talhelm. Thanks for waking up with us on this Friday, May 4th. We're cooling down as we head into the weekend, which
yes, we are.
I would welcome. I went out to the Rivanna Trail yesterday and intended to run.
But it was hot.
It was too hot for that.
Really
it was
hot.
like a very casual stroll in the shade instead.
That was probably a good idea anyway.
Yeah.
Well, let's check in with meteorologist David Rogers. He's outside tracking our forecast on this Friday morning. Good morning, David.
Hey, good morning, Jen. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, everybody. We're here live on East Market Street, and getting our day off to a pleasant start. You know, if you have anything you want to do outdoors, like run or do any gardening, good idea to try to get it in before noon, because we're anticipating another hot day today with temperatures getting close to the record. The record is 95. That was set back in 1928. We'll get pretty close to that today. Again, as we go through the afternoon, you may pick up a nice little breeze, but these well above normal temperatures will certainly affect your outdoor activities. Let's take a look at your weather headlines on this Friday. We made it through another week, everybody. TGI Friday. And again, getting our day off to a great start. Many of us in the 60s this morning. Pleasantly cool start to the day, but it's going to be a hot one. If you are going to be out and about this evening, there's a small chance we could see an isolated shower. Again, this is going to be well ahead of that cold front that will affect us for the weekend. Higher probabilities for rain showers both Saturday and Sunday, and that does mean some cooler temperatures. Currently outside, let's take a look at the numbers. We've got a clear to partly cloudy sky out and about this morning, and again, getting our day off to a pretty pleasant start. Right now in Charlottesville, we're 66. Good morning to you in Palmyra. At Lake Monticello is 64 degrees there. Shelburne Middle School in Stanton, they're 67, and Prospect Heights Middle School, Orange, 66 as well. So most of us starting out in the 60s. And as you take a look at our live exclusive dual pole triple Doppler radar, not much going on. So the daytime hours I think will be dry. But this evening, there's a small chance we could see an isolated shower. So here we go. Yesterday, we got up to 89. The normal high this time of the year is 74. We'll see partly sunny sky today. Breezy. Southwest winds will increase 10 to 20 miles per hour. 93 will be your high today at Charlottesville, about 90 for Louisa, and 87 for Harrisonburg. Coming up, we'll look into the future with your NBC 29 7-day forecast. I'll also have this morning's Sunrise Stumper question. Matt and Jen, back to you.
Okay, thank you, David.
Okay.
Our time now is 5:02, and investigators this morning are working to determine how a docked boat at Lake Monticello caught fire.
The blaze damaged or destroyed 6 boats. Neighbors say the first boat caught fire around 1 o'clock yesterday, spreading to other boats because of the wind. Ropes caught fire, causing some boats to float away from the dock. Emergency crews had to chase those down to put out the fires.
It might be difficult for the owners to identify the boats that are theirs because of the extent of the damage to them. They're totally destroyed.
The cause, of course, of the fire remains under investigation.
Right now, part of Route 56 in Rockbridge County is closed due to a forest fire. This was the scene yesterday near the community of Vesuvius. VDOT says Route 56 is closed between the Nelson County line and the intersection with Route 608. The closure is expected to remain in place through this morning. Drivers are advised to seek alternative routes.
In this morning's Crime Watch at 5:03, a Charlottesville jury is recommending 6 years behind bars for one of the men convicted for his role in a bloody beating in the Market Street parking garage on August 12th. The jury found 34-year-old Alex Ramos guilty yesterday of malicious wounding. The Commonwealth says Ramos joined the group of men attacking DeAndre Harris by jumping on his leg and punching his head. Ramos's attorney says his client admits he punched Harris and is sorry. Ramos is scheduled to be sentenced August 23rd. He is one of 4 men charged in that beating.
2 other men accused in that same attack on DeAndre Harris have yet to face trial. Daniel Borden of Ohio is set to face a jury in June. Tyler Davis from Florida will have his trial in July. Jacob Goodwin is set to be sentenced for his role in that beating after a jury convicted him Tuesday. We learned in court this week that police have not been able to identify 2 other people seen in pictures and video of that beating.
The family of an Albemarle County woman who was murdered in her home is speaking out about her death. Albemarle County police say 34-year-old Amanda Bates was shot and killed by her estranged fiance on March 24th. Officers responded to the Richmond Road home for a domestic violence report just weeks before the shooting. Bates' family members say they wish police could have done more. Now the family is using their tragedy to raise awareness about domestic violence in hopes of saving others.
It doesn't just affect females, it affects children and men, and how many people are being abused in their homes and we just don't even know anything about it. I'm going to turn my procrastination into action to help our community be more aware of what's going on and to intercede at the first signs.
34-year-old Cardian Eubanks faces several charges, including second-degree murder.
University of Virginia police are investigating a reported rape at a university-run apartment complex. An alert sent out to the UVA community says the female victim reported that someone she knew assaulted her on April 25th at an apartment in the Copley Hill residence area. Police say they have identified the suspect.
Our time is 5:05. The Augusta County Circuit Courthouse is getting ready to undergo renovations. The work will be completed in 2 phases. Phase 1 includes painting and making chimney repairs. Phase 2 will consist of replacing the current roof with a new copper one. Barristers Row will be closed to traffic periodically during both phases. The renovations are expected to be finished in about 6 months.
Blue Ridge Community College is adding a biosciences building to its campus in Weir's Cave. The college broke ground on the 40,000 square foot building Thursday. It will house a state-of-the-art nursing facility, a paramedic program, and clean room technology for food manufacturing and other industries. College President John Downey says bioscience is an emerging field that really could help economic development in the valley.
I think it'll make the region more competitive in terms of companies thinking about relocating here in the bioscience and manufacturing, especially food manufacturing arenas, and also existing companies that are thinking of expanding. I think it will really help them as well.
The $20 million facility is expected to be done by the fall of 2019.
Virginia Senator Mark Warner now has a better understanding of what farmers in the Shenandoah Valley want to see included in the 2018 Farm Bill. Senator Warner attended a roundtable discussion yesterday at Blue Ridge Community College. Many farmers discuss their concerns about the Trump administration's proposed trade war and their need for additional manpower.
I've supported broad-based bipartisan immigration reform. I wish the House would take it up because we're now costing not only farmers, but we're literally potentially seeing the potential for farms to sometimes have to shutter their doors if they don't have the workforce at the time they need.
Senator Warner also stopped by the 73rd Augusta County Market Animal Show. He plans to maintain support for crop insurance, farm-to-table efforts, and broadband in the 2018 Farm Bill.
It is 5:07. A landscape architect team from 2 cities will design the future botanical garden in Charlottesville's McIntyre Park. The team is made up of Boston-based Meekyoung Kim Design and Charlottesville's Water Street Studios. Back in November, the group overseeing the project started accepting proposals for designs of that 8.5 acres in the northeast corner of the park. The goal is to select the final design by the end of the year before breaking ground on the garden in the summer of 2020.
4 Albemarle County elementary schools will see new leadership next school year. The principals at Hollymead, Greer, Scottsville, and Stony Point Elementary announced their retirements. Top candidates are expected to be interviewed in the next couple of weeks with appointments announced by July 1st. Red Hill Elementary will also get a new principal because its principal will become the associate principal at Sutherland Middle School.
A lot of changes there for the next school year. President Trump and his personal lawyer may be in some legal trouble.
After confirming his role in a previously denied hush payment, Trump is now raising questions of possible illegal campaign contributions. We get the latest from Washington coming up.
A Charlottesville high school student and future University of Virginia Cavalier is headed to college with the school's most prestigious award.
Jonah Weissman is one of 36 Jefferson scholars in the incoming class. The scholarship covers tuition and room and board for all 4 years. Wow. This award is one of the most highly selective merit scholarships in the nation.
it's really satisfying. It's a great feeling of accomplishment. When I got the letter that said that I had it, it was just, I jumped up, like literally, I was so excited. I just told my parents, my friends. It was a wonderful feeling.
Weissman plans to study computer science at UVA and pursue a career in data science. So congratulations to him. I'm sure his parents are equally
I'm sure they're
appreciative.
very proud and appreciative of saving 4 years
of tuition.
All of that. Yeah. Congrats. Well, if you are planning a weekend cookout, you better check your ground beef in your refrigerator before you throw those burgers on the grill, because we have details on a recall.
Plus, Charlottesville police officers are working to build their relationships with kids. We'll look ahead to today's Cops for Kids Day. An investigation is underway into a fire at Lake Monticello that destroys several boats.
He decided to insert himself into a violent attack of an unarmed man on the ground for no reason whatsoever.
Plus, a Charlottesville jury hands down another guilty verdict for the second man tried in a brutal beating in the Market Street parking garage on August 12th. It is 5:30, and your news at Sunrise continues right now.
Live in high definition, NBC 29 HD News at Sunrise continues.
Good morning, I'm Matt Talhelm.
And I'm Jennifer Von Reuter, and thanks for joining us on this Friday, May 4th. We're off to another pretty delightful start to the day, but it's going to get a lot hotter.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like I said yesterday, I was out at the Rivanna River, and that water was looking so good.
You're right to jump in, refreshing, and I'm
there
sure.
There were a lot of folks out there, too, and they had their bathing suits on, and they were taking a swim and enjoying it.
Very nice.
Because it was hot.
Yeah, well, let's check in with meteorologist David Rogers. He's outside tracking our forecast. Good morning, David.
All right, good morning, Jen. Good morning, Matt. You know, when in Rome, Matt, you should have jumped in. Yesterday was a perfect day. You'll get another opportunity today. Don't worry about it. Another day of upper 80s to lower 90s. The record for today, by the way, 95. So, again, we'll be flirting with record high temperatures, but things are going to be turning cooler as we look ahead to the weekend and throughout much of next week. Let's take a look at your weather headlines. Friday morning, everybody. We made it through another week and getting our day off to a great start. Feels pretty good out here, but it will be another hot afternoon with those upper 80s and lower 90s. We are tracking a slow-moving cold front. Looks like most of the rain showers will hold off until this weekend. However, if you are going to be out and about this evening, we could see an isolated shower develop. So just kind of keep that umbrella close by for tonight. And then more seasonal temperatures. Normal high should be about 74. And that's where we're going to be this weekend, pretty close to that and throughout much of next week. Let's take a look at the current temperatures outside. We've got a clear to partly cloudy start to the day. Good morning to you in Greene, where you are pleasant right now. 63, 66 in Charlottesville. Palmyra 63, Waynesboro currently 63 as well. Satellite radar picture shows things are pretty dry, so no travel related problems for your morning commute. Of course, make sure you do grab those sunglasses. You'll probably encounter some sun glare. Yesterday, by the way, we got up to 89. The normal high this time of the year is 74. Look for partly sunny sky today. Breezy. Southwesterly winds will increase 10 to 20 miles per hour. 90 will be your high for Louisa, 93 for Charlottesville, and 88 for Stanton. Coming up, we will take a detailed look at your NBC 29 7-day forecast. I'll also have this morning's Sunrise Stumper question. Jen and Matt, back to you.
Okay, thanks, David.
Okay.
Here are some of the stories we expect to make headlines today. Virginia Senator Tim Kaine will be in Charlottesville to talk about renewable energy.
Kaine is set to tour Apex Clean Energy's facilities and hold a roundtable with employees there this afternoon. Apex is an independent renewable energy company with more than 175 employees. The group is also expected to discuss ways to grow job opportunities in that industry.
Charlottesville police officers are working to foster relationships with children in the community. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Virginia is hosting the 2018 Cops for Kids Day, which is sponsored by the Charlottesville Police Foundation. Officers will introduce K-9 and SWAT teams, as well as talk about safety, and in between, have some fun. The event begins at 4 o'clock at the Boys and Girls Club on Cherry Avenue.
Bluebirds will be on display in Charlottesville this evening to increase awareness for foster care. The flock of artistic creations will be on display at Piedmont Casa from about 5 o'clock. Then they will fly to the Sprint Pavilion and land at City Space for an art exhibit that starts at 5:30. The Bluebirds represent one boy or girl in foster care in this community. May is National Foster Care Awareness Month.
Now to our top stories we're tracking this Friday morning. It's a rough start to the boating season for some people who live at Lake Monticello. A fire broke out yesterday on one of the dock boats. High winds caused the flames to quickly spread, igniting several other boats. The fire burned ropes, causing some of those boats to float away from the dock, and emergency crews had to chase them down to put out the fires. In total, 6 boats were damaged or destroyed. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
A Charlottesville jury is recommending 6 years behind bars for one of the men convicted for his role in a bloody beating inside the Market Street parking garage following the Unite the Right rally last August. Yesterday, the jury found 34-year-old Alex Ramos guilty of malicious wounding. The Commonwealth says Ramos attacked DeAndre Harris by jumping on his left leg and punching his head. Ramos is scheduled to be sentenced August 23rd. He is the second man convicted in that attack.
Work to renovate the Augusta County Courthouse is underway. The work will be completed in 2 phases. Phase 1 includes painting and making chimney repairs. Phase 2 will consist of replacing the current roof with a new copper one. Barristers Row will be closed to traffic periodically during both phases. The renovations are expected to be finished in about 6 months.
Covering America at 5:35 this morning. If you get your ground beef from Kroger, you could be affected by a recall. JBS USA says more than 35,000 pounds of ground beef may be contaminated with bits of hard plastic. The meat is packaged under the labels Kroger ground beef, Private Selection Angus beef, Kroger ground sirloin, and all natural Laura's lean beef. It was all produced March 22nd and is stamped EST 34176. If you have this meat, you are urged to return it or throw it away.
President Trump is expected to be in Texas today to speak at the National Rifle Association's annual meeting. This will be the 4th year in a row Trump has addressed the group, and the first since February's deadly high school shooting in Parkland, Florida. That shooting triggered dozens of companies to cut ties with the NRA. Protesters are expected to hold rallies during the meeting calling for stricter gun control.
A 22-year-old man is dead after a shooting at an outlet mall in Nashville, Tennessee. That shooting happened inside the Opry Mill Mall Thursday after an argument between several people. According to police, the gunman fired shots and hit the victim, who was in a hallway across from one of the stores. Police say the gunman surrendered nearby and was actually held in custody by a retired California police officer. They have not released the names of the suspect or the victim.
Authorities in Hawaii are ordering mandatory evacuations in the wake of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Lava started flowing yesterday, 6 hours after a 5.0 magnitude earthquake shook the island. Some roads are already impassable due to lava flows, and the threat of lava has closed some schools and government buildings. 1,700 people are being urged to evacuate.
Covering the world on this Friday morning, dozens of migrants from that Central American caravan are waking up in the United States this morning. 49 migrants crossed the border into California from Tijuana, Mexico Thursday. Since Monday, U.S. authorities have only let a few migrants into the port of entry at a time. At least 140 from that caravan plan to seek asylum. Most are from Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, and they left home to escape the violence in their countries.
China has successfully launched a new communications satellite into orbit. It was sent into orbit by the Long March 3B carrier rocket, which was launched at China's Southwestern Satellite Launch Center. The satellite will provide TV transmissions, communication, internet, and multimedia services to customers across the Asia-Pacific region. This is the 273rd mission of Long March rocket series.
Tourists in Australia got too close to some kangaroos while on a tour, and they have the wounds right there to show for it. These pictures provided by a tour operator in southeastern Australia show the warning signs. And then this guy who got scratches on his chest and back, a bloody gouge in his stomach. A woman came away with a scratched face and shoulder. The operator of a tourist shuttle service to the park says he actually shows photos of injuries like this to tourists as a reminder of the damage that a wild animal can do. And those kangaroos have some really strong muscles.
And their looks can be deceiving. They look really cute and harmless, but they can be very violent.
Especially when they're in those little pouches. Everyone thinks, oh, they're so cute, but Those legs, those
Yeah.
arm muscles.
Got to be careful. A special visitor surprises some patients at UVA Children's Hospital.
I always said through whatever I do, I want people to know what I stand for.
A NASCAR driver from the Shenandoah Valley is bringing joy to some young fans battling cancer. It is 5:39 on this Friday morning, TGIF. We are back in 2 minutes.
All right, here's today's question. Who ended his final 60-minute segment by saying, if you see me in a restaurant, please just let me eat my dinner? Think about it. Send us your answer to the stumper at NBC29.com. Today's winner gets NBC29 coffee mug, plus a gift certificate from University Tire and Auto Centers. And this Friday and every Friday during the month of May, we've got a 32-inch flat screen to give away. So when you send in your answer, let us know what city you are from.
That same line Jennifer says to her kids and family.
Every night, please, let me just finish my dinner. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a mom. They just constantly, mommy. It's like, please.
Enjoy your dinner.
Can we just finish
let me
our
have
meal?
my dinner.
Yeah. I'm hungry. Okay. All right,
Thanks, David. A professional race car driver from the Shenandoah Valley is on a mission to help find a cure for cancer.
The 20-year-old racer helped bring joy to some young fans at the University of Virginia Children's Hospital. NBC 29's Pete DeLuca reports. Our time is 5:50. It's a sad day for Stanton's Gypsy Hill Park.
Yeah, the city took down the famous weeping willow tree at the center of the duck pond yesterday. Crews closed a portion of the loop road there to bring in a crane to remove the 20-year-old tree. Parks and Rec Director Chris Tuttle thinks the cleaning of the pond 2 years ago caused too much stress on the tree and its health began to decline.
It's the focal point of the park. It's on all of our logos, our letterheads, and when you come in the park, it's the first thing you see. And the duck pond is one of the most popular attractions in the park.
Weeping willow trees grow quickly. That's the good news. So that replacement tree that they planted yesterday will provide shade soon. They said they wanted to get that in because the ducks are about to have their ducklings. And they need a tree to be under there. So get a little shade for them. Need that shade today for sure, David Rogers.
Yeah, absolutely. Another day you need to put on the sunscreen. Make